the very first episode of Marina d'Italia, the exciting new series from SVN that aims to introduce you to the most significant marinas located across our country. Alright, so today we are in Sicily at Marina di Portorosa, the main entry point to the stunningly beautiful Aeolian Islands. This is the largest charter base throughout Sicily, specifically because it's conveniently located right in front of the stunning Aeolian Islands. We'll talk about all the nautical aspects such as the dangers, the winds, and everything else that, when it comes to sailing, you need to be aware of what you should know to safely arrive at or leave this port. But we will also talk to you about all the services. So we will tell you where to eat and also where to go grocery shopping, where you can grab a nice afternoon aperitif, so you should just follow me. Marina di Portorosa is really a very special marina. Just consider that. Here, before the marina was built, there was a large stretch of land made of dunes with kids coming to play with their bicycles, and it was a natural cross-country field. Then they built the docks, put up the columns, constructed the villas, and eventually built the apartments too. When everything was ready, they have knocked down the dam that separated them from the sea and completely flooded everything. Here it is, Portorosa. Therefore, it's a really unique marina, particularly because this is no longer public domain land anymore. This is private property, meaning a boat berth bought here is a real property, which means it doesn't have an expiration date and it doesn't have a concession. It's absolutely a real property. Marina di Portorosa is actually the largest charter base you can find in Sicily, as we mentioned and talked about earlier. It's basically the main entryway to the Aeolian Islands. And given that it's the largest charter base in all of Sicily, it's only appropriate that the biggest charter company in our entire country is actually located right here, NSS. All right, here you have it. These are all the boats that came from the NSS headquarters. And it is they who are allowing us to make this video by giving us their sponsorship. They help us with the production of many videos, and for this reason, I want to leave you in their company for just a few seconds to truly understand and appreciate what it is that they really do. And then I will return to provide you with some data on Portorosa. All this information is incredibly beneficial and highly valuable if you're considering a visit to the Aeolian Islands. But before we get into all that, let me just remind you once again that SVN isn't just a simple YouTube channel. We're a full-fledged network, a comprehensive network that's comprised of a variety of innovative digital tools. We have two magazines, SVN and ICAT SVN Catamaran, which is a magazine that's dedicated solely to multi-hulls. Plus, we have a portal that is the central backbone of the entire network, which is the most widely followed in Italy in the sailing world. And it's www.solovela.net, where you can find out everything there is to know about us. All right, now that we've mentioned that, let's give a listen to NSS, and right after we'll begin talking in detail about Marina di Portorosa.
When you think of a sailing holiday, think of us. Think NSS. We have always been working to offer you the best possible experience. Our company is a Beneteau importer and the first lagoon dealer in Europe. Our charter fleet offers boats that you won't find anywhere else. The newest, the biggest, and the most gorgeous. If you want to go sailing, trust us. NSS Group.
Once you leave Portorosa, after 16 miles, you arrive at Cala Gelso, the southernmost bay of the island of Vulcano. And you're in the Aeolian archipelago, the wonderful Aeolian archipelago, 7 islands, each more beautiful than the last. Listen up, to fully visit all 7 islands, you definitely need at least 2 weeks. If you've come here with a charter boat and have the typical 1-week time frame available, honestly, my advice would be to not attempt to see every single one of them, because it would basically become a race against time, which doesn't quite make sense. So choose 3 or 4 islands and take your time to enjoy them. If you spend a day or even a day and a half on each island, you'll find that it turns out to be a fantastic week. To make this happen, you should definitely start your adventure from Portorosa, and that's exactly why this marina is so popular. How do you get to Portorosa? You can get to Portorosa either with your own boat, and that goes without saying, or you arrive by car. If you're coming from the north, you go down all of Calabria, pass through San Giovanni, get on the ferry and make your way to Messina. And once you're in Messina, You travel about 100 kilometers and you're here. In Portorosa, it's about an hour or maybe an hour and a half, let's say an hour and a half by car. Or you might choose to arrive by ship setting sail to Livorno, Civitavecchia or Naples, and then you can get to Palermo. From there it's roughly 2 hours and 15 minutes by car to reach here. Well, again, if you arrive at Falcone Borsellino Airport, then you're most definitely arriving by plane. If you arrive by ship and subsequently come to the airport, the charter company, in this particular case NSS, will arrange and send a transfer for you. All right, let's get moving. Let's head over to the marina and meet two significant individuals who are going to greatly help us understand and fully grasp the layout of the port. We will ask for the marina's numbers from someone who knows them very well, so to the marina manager, follow me. We're in the office of Portorosa Marina Yachting, the main port office, and here with me is Francesco Bombacci, who is the dedicated manager of the company that owns and oversees the marina. Hi, Francesco.
Good morning. Welcome to you all. Thank you for being at our marina.
Thanks for the hospitality. Listen, Francesco, can you tell me how many berths you've got here?
Inside, the port is able to comfortably accommodate 630 boats, ranging in size from 8 meters up to 30 meters.
And what about the draft?
Clearly, we definitely have a limitation on the draft, considering it was dredged and therefore, it's not possible to make it any deeper than this, because we have an operational depth of 2.2 meters. What do I mean by operational? That the boats, with high tide and low tide at 2.2 meters can find accommodation.
Perfect. So you can host practically all of the cruising boats except for the large sailing boats and catamarans.
Exactly. Consider that within our port, our marina at the moment, 300 sailing boats are hosted, providing employment for about 220 people.
Which are the charter boats?
Which are the boats from the 15 charter companies that are currently at our marina.
And do these boats bring you a steady flow of tourists every week?
Every week there's a consistent turnover of about 2,500 people, with 2,500 leaving and another 2,500 arriving, particularly during peak periods.
Perfect. Thank you very much, Francesco.
Thank you for coming.
Now that we understand what the numbers of the marina actually are, and now let's go see instead what the dangers are. Stefano Vento. A person named Vento, obviously, is naturally predestined to work with boats, and there's nothing to be done about it. Stefano Vento is associated with NSS, the well-known charter company. Hello, Stefano.
Hi, Maurizio.
Stefano, I gave you a call to discuss two things: how to dock at Portorosa and the potential dangers at the marina. The first danger that comes to my mind is the fact that when I arrive here, I don't see the entrance of the port very well, because being an inland port, it doesn't feature a massive breakwater, which means this large structure isn't easily visible.
Yes, that's true, but it's a problem that's easily overcome. With today's advanced new technologies, GPS can very easily identify where the entrance is.
And that's very true. It's also true that if you come here to charter a boat when you return on this coming Friday, you'll immediately recognize Portorosa, because outside the port you'll find many boats. They're the boats waiting to enter so they can go to the fuel station, because when you rent a boat, you know you have to return it eventually, making sure it's got a full tank of gas. In fact, speaking of this, the advice is to fill up on diesel fuel, just to be on the safe side. When you're at the islands, make sure to have an extra 20-liter can on board. And then when you arrive here, pour it directly into the tanks. This will save you a couple of hours of waiting to go to the fuel station. Stefano, what about other problems? Any other dangers?
No, Maurizio, there are absolutely no dangers. As you can see, it's a closed port and everything is very safe.
And is there any particular wind that might potentially bother me, even if not too much?
The Sirocco could potentially be an issue, particularly when it's really strong, as it can come in a bit and cause some trouble.
And what about docking over here? I know that you, as NSS, provide and manage the docking service for your own boats. By any chance, is there a docking service provided at the port?
Yeah, the marina has a docking service available, whether you come by sea with a dinghy or on land using mooring lines.
So when I arrive even with one of your boats, I can still ask for the dinghy's help and assistance, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Perfect. So if you're unsure or if it's windy, Call the tower, request the dinghy, and you'll arrive at the dock to find them already actively waiting there with the dinghy, ready to keep your bow straight and efficiently pass you the mooring line without any significant delay or inconvenience. Thank you very much, Stefano.
Thank you.
And now, instead, let's go and check out some of the many various services offered at Marina di Portorosa. Parking is definitely one of the essential services in a marina, especially if I come to rent a boat and arrive by car for convenience. And I have to park it for a week or maybe even 2. Here at Portorosa, I've got a bunch of options. The most straightforward and budget-friendly option is to park it in the large parking lot that's located just before the entrance. It's a really big parking area, and while it's not attended, it's monitored by a bunch of cameras from the marina's concierge office, which has a direct view of it. I have come here several times on vacation, and I have left my car there for several days each time, and nothing has ever happened to it. However, if you don't want to stay in an unguarded parking lot, you can ask the administration to provide you with one of their parking spots. They have spots conveniently available for rent weekly. And one more crucial service they provide, without a doubt, is waste disposal. Well, usually in marinas, when you get off the boat, you have to take the waste to the bins, and the bins are always far away. Here at Portorosa, it's very convenient. You can get off the boat with your separated waste and place it in recycling bins located in front of the boat. An attendant comes, collects them all, and efficiently disposes of them. Honestly, it really couldn't be any easier than this. Now, let's go ahead and talk about the bars and restaurants. When it comes to restaurants, bars, and groceries, Portorosa is honestly a really rich and well-equipped port with excellent amenities. To fully understand the way everything is organized here, let's go ahead and divide the port into 2 separate areas. On one side, we have the port area, where the majority of the charter boat crews typically pass through. As we've heard, there are a good number of them, adding up to 350 boats in total. Then on the opposite side, there's a residential area where there's a large hotel that's currently not being used at the moment. It's an area that serves both boaters and those going to the beach, because right behind the port there are some exceptionally very large, expansive beaches. In the port area, one of the main bars that you'll come across is this one called Di Fresco, where you'll find Giuseppe, who is the cook and also the pastry chef. And by the way, very talented and good, accompanied by Mirella, a very friendly and attentive girl who will serve you at the tables. Giuseppe prepared his specialty, the babà, as he's not originally from Sicily. He hails from Naples. There are quite a few Neapolitans around here. You know that babà is a famous dessert from Naples. He took the time to show us the steps involved in making it, and I have to say it's truly delicious. If you're looking for another bar, there's one situated close to the port offices. Yet another one can be found just to my left, right in front of the area where you board the NSS boat, although this bar isn't currently open right now. To wrap it up, the very last place that's both a bar and a restaurant is called Gradisca, which you can find on the other side in the residential area. Gradisca is a very special place because besides being a bar and restaurant, it's also the only place that hosts a variety of events and provides evening entertainment. So you can go over there to dance, listen to some music, or watch entertaining shows. It's an interesting and truly unique place to hang out. The Granada is what they're famous for. They allowed us to try it, we tasted it, and honestly, it's true. Super tasty stuff. You should definitely try it. Having seen the bars, now let's go see where we're going to have dinner, meaning the restaurants, and from that point of view, we also have a great selection. Right under this portico, a little further ahead, we have the well-known pizzeria Ricomincio da Tre, owned by Vincenzo Di Fresco, who is actually Giuseppe Di Fresco's brother, the owner of that bar. These 2 Neapolitan brothers are the reason why Giuseppe treated us to babà, which is a well-known and beloved Neapolitan dessert. Vincenzo, on the other hand, prepared us a delicious caprese pizza, which is another Neapolitan specialty. You can easily recognize a Neapolitan pizza because the crust is noticeably high. Not only that, the pizza is really very good and the pizzeria is super nice. And what really stands out are the guys who work there. They are very kind, professional, and very competent. If you don't want to go to a pizzeria but instead prefer a proper restaurant, you can go to the plaza, which is located just behind here. It's clearly a higher level dining option. It's a classic restaurant with prices that are unsurprisingly higher than those at the pizzeria. But the last place where you can go to grab a bite in the evening. Once again, Gradiska is the go-to place, which is located in the residential area, and they're incredibly creative as well. And they will offer you a whole series of truly delicious dishes for you to try out, savor, and enjoy. But now, I would say that we should instead look at the case where I want to cook something on the boat, which is something I do quite a lot. All right then, let's go and check out the grocery stores around here. For grocery stores, we have two main options. The first is the actual supermarket, Sigma, which is conveniently located behind the hotel in the residential area of the port. It's roughly about a kilometer from where we are now, right in the central part of the marina. You head over, do your shopping, and they'll deliver everything right to your boat. It costs slightly more than the other supermarkets outside the marina, but that's totally reasonable and understandable because it's a more convenient service. The second option available to you is a store that's conveniently located right here in the port area, Carmelina's well-known shop. When Sigma is only open for the season, Carmelina is open all year because she serves the people who work in the port. In fact, if you ask a skipper or someone who works around here, where do you usually go to do your shopping? The answer is at Carmelina's. And now we're going to meet her. Hi, Carmelina.
Hi, Maurizio. Good morning.
Carmelina, I've heard from quite a few people that your sandwiches are considered the best in the entire port.
That's what they say. Yes, they're right. They're really good. Come on.
Absolutely perfect. Let's not be modest.
Yes, let's not.
Listen, you've been here for 30 years, and I've also been told you have many local specialties. What specialties do you have?
Yes, we bring a bit of the beautiful and authentic good things from our Sicily. We bring Bronte pistachios, Salina capers, and delicious cookies, all the good stuff we make.
Do you have many foreigners?
Yes, many foreigners come. They take charters and visit the Aeolian Islands, our wonderfully beautiful islands.
So do you speak to them in English then?
I make myself understood, yes. You manage. They appreciate it too, and they even make an effort to speak a bit of Italian.
Perfect, great. So if you want to shop where the port's skippers do their regular shopping, I remind you of Carmelina. Okay, let's carry on with our tour now. The last piece of information I give you about Marina di Portorosa concerns its shipyard, Basia, a shipyard that has been around here for 36 years. And it's a shipyard with a great reputation with everyone I've talked to. I've been told it's a shipyard you can definitely rely on. The main drawback of Basia is its slip. It's quite narrow and simply can't accommodate catamarans. The biggest catamaran it can accommodate is a boat that's 40 feet in length. It has no problems, however, clearly with monohulls, those it can easily and efficiently haul without any problem. Having said that, we have completed sharing the information regarding Marina di Portorosa, and I allow myself to give you instead. One last piece of information that goes outside the marina. We have seen that in the marina we have two pastry workshops, the one at Gradiska and the one by Giuseppe Di Fresco, who showed us how it's made. The baba, but let me tell you, there's actually a third one as well. Right outside the port, it's roughly 800 meters, or you could say about a kilometer. Once you leave the parking area, make a left turn, continue straight for about 800 meters, and you'll come across the bar Arte. You should definitely check it out. Grab breakfast there because it's totally worth it. We tried the brioche, or croissants, depending on what you call them, with tiramisu filling and the Sicilian cannoli. And honestly, I have to say they were really quite good, so I would definitely recommend them. With that, our information regarding Portorosa comes to an end, and I really hope that you found it interesting, so I just want to say a big thank you for paying close attention and interest. I just want to take a moment to sincerely thank our sponsor NSS because, without their strong belief in advertising that focuses on providing information and service, we would not be able to make these amazing videos without them. With all that being said, I'll see you in the next episode of Marina d'Italia with SVN. Solo Velanet.